day, we are performing. While we may not notice it, we are constantly being watched by an audience. Don't believe it? People everywhere make conscious decisions about how they look, how they act, and how they want others to perceive them. These decisions are affected by our culture, our society, or in Goffman's terms, our frame. In different frames, certain things become more or less socially acceptable. Why is it okay for women to walk around shirtless in African tribes, yet public indecency in most parts of America? Different frames make for different interpretations. In some cultures, two men holding hands is considered a sign of friendship. In other cultures, it is a sign of homosexuality, and would be less socially acceptable in that frame. With everyone having to worry about the frames we are in and the way we present ourselves, we spend time creating multiple personas and fronts for different frames. The fact is, we care about how our audience perceives us. We care to try to find the guidelines that our frame presents us. While we can't help most of the physical aspects that people see at first sight, we can perform a persona and present a front that fits the frame that we are put in. In this video, I plan on covering a wide array of topics. I will first begin by defining some of the key definitions that Goffman defines in his essay Presentation of Self and the Theatrical Frame. These terms include, but are not limited to, the terms frame, personal and social front, and sincere and cynical performances. I will then talk about different types of everyday performance and give examples, such as how you act around different audiences. Acting differently around different audiences is very similar to how things are more socially acceptable in different types of frames. I will give examples of different interesting frames and compare them. And lastly, I'm going to interview some brave individuals that have volunteered to be analyzed. While this video is based on frames and how people perform in different situations, it will not give concrete answers as to why everybody acts the way they do. I will be able to analyze the situations given to me in Goffman's terms. However, the analysis may not apply to all situations that are similar. Now let's define some terms. Our main focus in this video is the idea of frame. Goffman uses the term frame to describe the different ways that we view something. One example of this is how we view actions at different types of concerts. Let's compare a rock concert to a classical or orchestral concert. If you were to go to a rock concert, you would see people moshing about and dancing and having a great time. Yet if you were to view people going to an orchestral performance, people would be dressed in a suit and tie and would look very classy. These two frames are completely different. Therefore, if you were to be looking at a rock concert through an orchestral frame, it may cause some issues and confusion. Sincere and cynical performances are based off of how much the performer believes in himself. If the performer truly believes in his performance, it is sincere. If he doesn't, then the performance is considered cynical. It is up to the audience to determine if they truly believe in the performer's performance. Other important key terms are the three key elements of front. Goffman talks about how setting, personal, and social front are all aspects that determine how you present yourself. Goffman defines setting as the furniture, the decor, and essentially the props that are involved when you are presenting yourself. Personal fronts can be divided into appearance and manner. Think of appearance of how you actually look, such as your skin color, your clothes, and other elements that people see at first glance. Manner is the way you behave. Social fronts are the fronts that you choose to use around different groups of people. One great example that explains all these elements is the music video Lifestyle by Young Thug. In this music video, he is surrounded by money, cars, and women. This would be considered his props or setting. His appearance is essentially like a costume, with multiple chains, tattoos, and thuggish clothes. He shows different social fronts in this music video too. When he is around his other rapper friends, he acts like them. However, when he is around his mother in the music video, he acts much sweeter and softer towards her. He wouldn't be able to show this social front to his rapper friends, and vice versa. Now that we have gone over Goffman's terms and looked at examples in society, I took the time to analyze some of the performers in my life.
¿Por qué no los dos? Hi, my name is Orihime Fernandez, but you can call me Hime. I am half Mexican, half Japanese, from New York. I am lesbian.
I wanted to find out what Hime thought other people viewed her as.
I've been told that when people see me, they see a cute little Asian girl.
However, her fixed appearance is a lot different than what she wants her actual front to come off as.
That people would see me more as Hispanic because I do identify more with my Hispanic side. To fight against it, for example, I dress like a tomboy with my soccer jerseys, and I celebrate holidays such as Cinco de Mayo, or I celebrate holidays in a Hispanic manner.
Hime is struggling with her natural appearance. She stated how she would do things to try to go against what she naturally looks like, such as wearing tomboy clothing so that she wouldn't look like a little Asian girl.
I do feel that the culture was significantly different. I feel that everyone was a lot more accepting, but then I came down here and I felt that I had to hide the fact that I was lesbian.
This is an example of Goffman's term mystification. Hime is purposely concealing the idea that she is lesbian because it is not socially acceptable in the frame that she is currently in.
I do feel like I am performing a fake version of myself for this culture.
My name is Damilola Nimishan. I'm from Nigeria, and I go by Faisal.
How do you think you appear to other people?
Sometimes when people see me, I sort of feel as though they're putting me into certain stereotypes that they're already comfortable with. Like a stereotypical angry black guy. Like not intelligent, thuggish, stuff like that.
Stereotypes in society can have positive and negative effects on performance. In some cases, stereotypes cause for people to perform a self that is ideal to what the audience is expecting. This is Goffman's term of idealization. However, in most cases, the stereotypes that fit black males is not a very positive one. In this case, Faisal is trying to fight against the stereotypes that society has already put on him.
Yes.
Sometimes I find myself consciously doing things to combat these stereotypes, and going to the school it's somewhat tough, because everyone's smart. You have to be smart. So yeah.
The interesting thing about Faisal is how he performs his race. While he cannot change the fixed aspects of his appearance, he purposely doesn't wear baggy clothing so that he doesn't look like a thug.
Back home, obviously we didn't have this problem because we were all Africans, but coming over here, an eye-opener realizing that things are different in terms of you as an individual.
He also stated that in this frame, he feels the need to prove himself as an African American. However, in the actual Africa frame, he didn't feel as much pressure to perform in such a manner.
So definitely, depending on who I hang out with, my behavior is different. Sort of like I'm leading two lives. I'm with my black friends, I act differently than when I'm with my white friends. For lack of better words, I'm not with my African American buddies. With the boys, it's just being yourself and who you really are.
In the interviews with Hime and Faisal, they both had something very in common. Even though their situations were completely different, they both agreed on the idea that they had to have multiple different ways of performing themselves in different frames. Whether it was through appearance or manner, they both manipulated their personal fronts so that they could have different fronts with different frames. Are we performing? In this video, we cover topics that might make this answer more obvious. Whether you know it or not, a performance is going on, and we are the main characters.